Or you have one job to do. So
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, he's got his own stuff going on. So
like,
um so the next article, uh well, not really an article, just still something else to talk about. Psychonauts 2 is now ready and playable according to Double Fine's Twitter account.
oh, I love Psychonauts.
Yeah. So they
Oh
haven't
fuck, that was one
announced
of my favorite games.
that it's gone gold yet, but they're saying that they're able to play it fully at their studios. The original game came out in 2005, and we've been fucking waiting patiently for it. So I know, Danny, you're excited for the game. Randy, since you've been MIA for this conversation, you want to start first about your
What
thoughts of
conversation?
Psychonauts 2?
What conversation was I missing for?
I forgot.
um, I'm actually pretty excited. I will admit, I played half of Psychonauts 1, and then I watched somebody else play like the entirety of it. Well, I wouldn't say the entirety of it, like just a kind of a condensed let's play, if anything.
Yeah.
Because for when I do like eventually get to playing the game, I don't want everything to be spoiled. Like I want bits and pieces to still be fresh to me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, no. From what I saw, it's amazing. One sec. Sorry.
Yeah.
But no, from the bits and pieces I did see towards the end, they were really good. The game always controlled very well.
Yeah, it did.
Double Fine was. I haven't played any of the recent shit. Like what was it, Broken Age? I think.
Yeah, Broken
But
Age.
the platformers, like again, Psychonauts and Brutal Legend, I fucking love them. So for the second one to come out, I think that this one, like however long it takes to finally be released, it's gonna be worth it. Like it's not
Okay.
gonna be one of those games like Duke Nukem that it takes a fucking a yonk and a half
That
and
that was
then
a
it's just a
question I was
fucking
gonna
steaming
ask.
pile of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Okay.
only thing I will say this. I'm gonna take my shot right now. I hope it doesn't pull like a Kingdom Hearts 3 that you wait all this time.
There's no
And even though
payoff.
it's still yes, exactly. And I don't mean like a conclusion to the story or anything, but that it's like a downgrade from the games prior, or in this case, the game prior,
Hmm.
where like it's overly simplified for what this current gaming generation is, but that like it does maintain its old like, hey, I came out in 2005, so I'm gonna continue playing with not just like the same difficulty, but the same controls as that.
Hmm. Okay,
So
that
yeah,
makes sense.
I have high hopes. I know Tim Schafer won't let us down.
Yeah, he's always been good with his games, especially the writing and directing and everything.
Oh, of course.
Kevin, what do you think about it?
Never played, and I'm going to just turn my camera off and
So now
mute
you're
my mic.
going to the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to corner. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Oh, there he goes.
All right. Well, I mean, have
Uh,
you heard anything about it? Do you have any thoughts on it at all? Like, excited to
no,
try a sequel?
I have a thing with sequels personally. If I haven't played the first game, I don't play the second. So
Hmm.
I have to find Psychonauts 1, which is most like Psychonauts 1, which is most likely on Steam, right? If I'm not
It
mistaken.
should
I
be.
have no idea.
I know that I have it. I just don't know if it's still there. I'll tell you right now.
Gotcha,
Okay,
because I just
continue in the
opened.
I would
meantime.
assume
Oh,
it could be in Steam. It was a Microsoft published game, so yeah.
yeah, and I'll
Here's the
definitely.
thing though, because what is it? Onimusha 3 was on Steam before, and that one's off now, and I still have it. But
Mm.
I don't know. Oh no, Psychonauts still there. Okay, so you're
Yeah,
fine.
so
Hey,
I'll
there you
definitely
go.
play. I'll
Nice.
Okay.
play it. Two
So
games
For
I have
ten
to
Danny,
play.
bucks.
so Danny, what are your thoughts on everything? And yeah, I know you're
You said
excited
ten
for it.
bucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited for it because I remember playing the original game, not knowing what it was. Renting it from Blockbuster, of course, back in the
Yeah,
day. That was a thing.
I remember.
And um, just being like, "What is this? Is the fun game? It's a fun platform game. It was weird, the whole the powers and all the stuff. And as you progress and going into people's heads, and it was a really good job they did. And the sequel looks like they took the same art style and just try to ramp it up a little bit. When I saw the trailer for that,
Hmm.
it like they try to polish it off and not make it so blocky and make it nice. Give it that I don't want to say Bandicoot Zooey feel, but like just they're trying to clean it up. But at the end of the day, it wasn't. really about the graphics. It was about how the game played and the storyline that it had. So as long as they do a good job with that, I think you know it should be
Yeah,
fun.
I think I know what you mean. Like back in the day, even the graphics were great for the first game, but you could still see like
Yeah,
kind of the polygonal shapes and stuff like that. It was still kind of like
yeah,
it's still kind of rough around the edges, but like with the new game,
hmm
it's still the same art style, but it's just a lot smoother textures. It's
To
actually a
which
little
I
bit
think is a
more
good
off
thing.
fair
putting
though,
because it's weird. Like it's almost like that. You know, like when you look at a strange picture that's supposed to look human, but it's not human. It's kind of like what Raz looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
no,
but
but
that's
also
what
like
it's.
the polygons in the old one that added to the charm of it for what it was,
True.
and now that like it looks smoother, it the charm isn't gone because everyone looks the same. It's just modernized to what we're used to now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
In terms of smoothness, yes, it's totally fine as long as Raz looks like Raz and everyone else looks the same in terms of like how oblong they were. It's perfect.
which is yeah, and I agree, because that was what made the game weird and crazy is the way, it had like that Tim Burton-esque feel, Nightmare of Christmas type feel to it. They had that certain look, and this just took it didn't try to change that. It didn't try to take it into a different direction and make it like a super serious game or whatever it was, and making everything look realistic. No, they took it. It still looks weird, cartoony, has the same shapes, look oblong, like you said. And I think that's a great thing. Keep it to what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even calling back to Brutal Legend, every single faction had its own like very distinct look. Like the
Hmm.
metalheads were really like
Yeah.
they were very rectangular, very blocky as people, like big fucking metalheads. Then the what is it? Like the BDSM ones, they were like tall and very slim and they had a kind of almost stabbing appearance to them where
Hmm.
it's like you could tell that they enjoyed anguish and then it was the goth ones that are just like very curved and like how to put it, like the emos in South Park almost.
Hmm.
So yeah, like that everything has its own aesthetic and the fact that they stuck to their guns on that, it's good.
Hmm.
That's
So
cool.
I'm excited for it. So
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Same here with me. I'm still excited for it. I'm still a fan. I still have hopes. It's just like Randy said. It's fucking Tim Schafer. He has not disappointed me at all with any of his games. I mean, Brutal Legends was something that was a bit of a surprise when you realize it's an RTS game. But it still did well. It still kind of gave it that charm and kind of gave it that it stood out to a lot of people. And I'm sure a lot of people were angry because it kind of felt misled because that's not where the marketing was. They didn't talk about the RTS portions of the game.
Yeah.
They
It
focused more on
looked
the
more like a
action. Yeah,
hack and slash platformer kind of ordeal.
yeah,
And truth be told, do you want to talk about Brutal Legend for a little bit? Because
yeah. Sure.
I'm down. All right, cool. Um, I don't like RTSs
me
at all.
either.
Right?
Yeah.
If it comes to any like strategy games, I do prefer like Civ likes, as you know,
Mm-hmm.
like Endless Legend or Endless Space and something along those lines. But what really did make it like an easier pill to swallow was not only like the animation but also the music
Oh
because the
yeah.
soundtrack was amazing
Oh yeah.
and it definitely helped like make everything a lot better because all right, cool, I got good music. The character, Jack Black was just Jack Black but buff. um
I
and
mean, you
like
had Ozzy Osbourne in the game.
you had almost everyone
Geo,
in
everybody
You
was in
the
had
that
all
game.
these
Yeah.
like yeah, he had these metal legends like literally. So it's just like it was awesome.
Yeah, and what I do like about that though is the fact that that wasn't the kind of like main selling point of it either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you had Jack Black as Eddie Riggs, you had fucking Ozzy in the game, but it wasn't like, oh, we have these guys, so play our game or whatever. It was just this is our game. If you like heavy metal and you want some fucking metal fantasy kind of ordeal, play it, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, yeah. I
And even then,
think
the
It's all,
RTF portion of it did go very well because it was still a hack and slash as well.
it
Because
did.
you did have to do your kind of unit
Yeah,
management,
yeah.
but
hmm
you could throw yourself into the fray.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was like a watered down version of the RTS. It wasn't too
it
detailed where you
wasn't.
have to
Yeah.
look for like there was still resource manager. There was still enemy. Sorry, enemy. Soldier management, however you want to call it. All that stuff, but it wasn't to the extent where it was just like it felt like work. So
Mhm.
that's what made it fun. Also, is that those sections went by fairly quickly enough for you to enjoy the best part of the game, which was the story. The story was the best part.
Yeah. The only part I didn't really enjoy was the kind of final part, I guess. Not the final boss battle, but the final RTS portion of it.
I could not
That
remember.
one felt like a fucking mission. So, it was what's his name? The giant dude dressed in red that all you saw was like his demon mouth, that he essentially had like a cathedral that you had to drive your car into off on the sides.
Nope.
Well, it was this big fuck off map of death that you had to make sure all of your stuff stayed alive, while on the sides there were like these two little kind of tunnels, I guess, that they led into a ramp, that there was a very small window for you to take your car, blast your shit through it, and then like pierce the monster or whatever the fuck it was. But the phases of it were, you break the first part, and then obviously you had to go to the other one. But before you did that, it got so fucking difficult.
This is just a spike in difficulty just out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I can't remember
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't
It,
remember. I
it was
don't think
it
I
was a
ever
good
beat
spike,
that
but
game.
it was a
So
little frustrating.
Say again, Danny.
I don't think I ever beat that game. I think I got like it was like I
I
went to the
know.
blockbuster, got like
I know I
halfway, and
bought
then
that game, but did you end up renting it for yourself? I can't remember.
I can't. Yeah, I think I rented it for myself. Yeah, I remember renting it. I mean, it was a fun game. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It just wasn't a game that I was gonna put like, rent it more than once, put hours and hours into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I did.
Yeah.